Vega squadrons turn to ban. Ten seconds remaining. Virtus.Pro's turn to ban.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the StarLadder I-League Season 2 Invitational. We're in the European Qualifier Finals. It's Vega Squadron versus Virtus.Pro. A best-of-5 matchup where Virtus.Pro are now up one game. As we approach game number 2, we'll see if Vega can kind of even the score, or Virtus.Pro will continue their hot streak here. I'm going to be joined again by Moppax remotely. Welcome back, my good buddy Trent here. We saw it, game 1, Virtus.Pro, 5th pick Brood, gets them the win. Vega Squadron might have been kind of, taking advantage of in the drafting phase, but we'll see if they can kind of change things up themselves in game 2. Or, like I said, maybe the start of the grand final Brood meta. We'll have to see. Maybe I did something wrong. You know what I did? I forgot to unmute my mic, and Moppax didn't hear any of that, so let me just creep in. Hey Moppax, how's it going? Sorry, I forgot to unmute my mic in Skype, but I had this wonderful introduction, and I said a lot of very smart things about Dota. And with that, as we approach game number 2, and Virtus.Pro and their 5th pick Brood strat for game 1 worked out, but for game 2, I suspect Vega come prepared with a 1st pick Darkseer, just to make sure nothing like that can happen again.
Reserve time.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see if they kind of go in towards that maybe like wombo combo strategy again. They had a really hard time trying to get it all pulled together, it seemed. So I don't know if they're considering the Phoenix or the Disruptor right now. Probably the but instead they actually go to the Earth Spirit, which is something we don't see too often from Vega Squadron, but perhaps a little bit fearful of heading it on over to the side of No Fear.
You love me some Earth Spirit Darkseer combo action. I've been seeing way too much No Fear play it. I think it's just like I mean it's just because I've been casting a lot of Virtus.Pro this past week, so it's like I don't know. I'm very particular about my Earth Spirit play. I think No Fear plays it pretty good, but he's still not quite at that level of like a Jerix or a Weehaw or a Fear yet. But still, very valuable tool to have.
Darkseer is like easy mode though. You just get Iron Shell, you roll in on somebody.
Yeah, that's true.
A little bit of training wheels here, so see if that's going to be enough to help out Solo, assuming he'll be the one hopping on top of that one.
Yeah.
You get left. How do you deal with this? Definitely come out from the Darkseer. We all know he loves to pull that support tension down to the bottom lane, so you don't want to go too like not defensive. Like a Spectre or something like that. You want some combo stunts. Maybe they're thinking they want to get that Disruptor up here. Be solid. Yeah, you get both supports early, but pretty good against the Darkseer. Pretty good.
I agree.
Hero.
I think Disruptor is definitely an amazing option to have, but the problem is that we're in Phoenix Gaming meta, I guess, and Virtus.Pro are just going to be all about the hot bird. But I backed you up on that. I definitely feel like Disruptor could have been a solid choice in that front, but Virtus.Pro think different. They put together at least a little bit of respectable team fight. I mean, the nice thing is that both Earth Spirit and Darkseer are pretty bad at cracking the egg. They're not looking to kind of be stuck auto-attacking at it. And as we saw, it was a very valuable tool to have. I know for Vega and Sayoma, it didn't lead to ultimate success, but we saw multiple times that even just the one Phoenix Sunray alone was enough to kind of save any sort of nearby incoming gank trouble. So, we'll see though. Moving on forward, for Vega, for Virtus.Pro, when you see the pressure of this Earth Spirit potentially coming out, they were probably thinking for G to get that elusive hero pick, which means that they could ultimately be leading into a single core lineup, which, fits the bill for Virtus.Pro and what they've done. But I just wouldn't be surprised if they end up throwing G to the like of that Queen of Pain or that Puck. I would not suspect any sort of easy gank target here coming out from Virtus.Pro.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. Well, let's see here. So no mid heroes actually banned out quite yet, which means that either our Puck or Queen of Pain will definitely gank through the second phase, probably both. Imagine with that 4th pick for VP, they just pick that up, considering they don't have the last pick anyway. Kind of start tailoring their draft towards one of the two. I like the Puck. generally with like Lion and the Phoenix, go into maybe a more damage-heavy offlaner, something like that, or even just a secondary control piece to combo up with your Puck.
Yeah. I mean, the Banner Disruptor just kind of even makes that more apparent, too. It's like, well, Vega still have the option of pulling out something like a Disruptor that could be nice against the Puck or the Queen of Pain, but I think Virtus.Pro are looking to cover their bases there. And I don't know if there's a good follow-up from Vega, if they want to get something else to make sure they kind of stop any sort of pesky Quap or Puck play, but nonetheless...
There is
now...
the potential too that depending on what they see coming out from Vega Squadron, we have to always be worried about that Tinker. And I feel like that's something the VP are always just kind of looking for, you know, coming into this phase, that fourth or even that fifth. Can like, do they have enough catch? Like, can I get away with it this game?
Yeah. Oh, you're saying for Virtus.Pro to grab a
Oh yeah,
Tinker.
for Virtus.Pro.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, how is Tinker if he's got like Earth Spirit kind of, you know, coming at his grill a bit? You know, he has the laser to kind of create space, and he can work from afar. I would be a little nervous though, but yeah, I mean, Tinker just, if he's able to kind of be given at least a passable laning phase to build up into a respectably timed boots of travel, that's when he really becomes a different hero and then really a problem in the game. But I don't know how much Virtus.Pro could gear for the laning phase or not, but Vega, they will target Aloha Dance here, getting rid of the Lifestealer now. Still plenty of Yoku heroes in the pool, which is typically when Virtus.Pro pick up the Yoku hero here in the third pick. And obviously no Tidehunter, Beastmaster, Doom, but that's when we see him pull up like what, like the Faceless Void, let's say, or what else is it that he's been pulling out like a lot recently? I guess it's been mostly Darkseer, but I guess Faceless Void might be just kind of what they fall back on next, if that's what they choose.
Yeah, he doesn't have all that much to work with right now, it seems. A lot of his stuff gone. I've seen him pull out a couple of Earthshaker plays. Pretty solid with the Phoenix, too. All his other offlaners are gone, but again, not exactly the best hero, right? Not having the best time. Pretty hard in that offlane.
I mean, if I saw the Earthshaker, then I'd just be like, let's just go full Empire Yoku style. Get like an Axe or a Sand King or, you know, the Earthshaker and really bring me back to the good days. But... I don't know. I feel like Virtus.Pro and FNG will do the same thing and just get him the next best thing, which is probably the Void. But we'll see if that is something else or not. And they ban out the Queen of Pain. Vega just snap up Death Prophet here.
It could have been a really good option there for G. I think they might have been considering it too. Getting rid of that Queen of Pain.
Right.
Trying to build around just like a snowballing draft. Having the Phoenix there with the egg to try and draw attention away from the Death Prophet can be a pretty good option too. The overall control from FNG, so. But we've seen Darkseer Death Prophet a couple times before. Works out fairly well. It's no Chronosphere, right? It doesn't get off all the best Spirit Siphons and the total, like, exorcism damage on a single target.
Yeah.
He offers enough control to make it happen, gets you a mech early on, and there it is, Yoku's last hero.
Yeah. When everything else is banned out, you know.
Still relevant this meta.
He's got like a 4 or 5 man hero pool. I guess you just go for what's left and available. It's a shame. It doesn't feel like the Yoku of old when it was like he was like an offlane pioneer with his StarLadder Season 10 axe play, but he is still a stellar player nonetheless. Whether he likes playing that position or not, he definitely gets the job done. And now for Vega, I don't know. Would you put it past Vega to just snag up the Oracle? I
think that would be great because there's probably a Clinks coming out for VP.
Yeah.
And they need something defensive here. And that's probably one of the maybe a Winter Wyvern.
Vengeful Spirit, I guess, is the other safe bet.
Yeah, that's what we saw too. What plays out from the Chrono as well.
But you're right. They will need some sort of defensive tool. It's going to be pretty obvious. Oh, the Rubik, huh? We've been seeing this come up a couple of times now. Firstly, we saw it a lot from Alliance there in the back end of the Summit 5 qualifier. EGM had a lot of wonderful Rubik play. And then in our grand final of Vega versus Adfinem, occasionally it would pop up for... I want to say Virtus.Pro, in just kind of situations where it was like a Rubik's wet dream. I believe in that game in particular, it was like an Enigma and a Tide on the same team, and it was like, okay,
you get the black hole steal.
Yeah, get a Rubik here. You know, it's like he's got so many things out there to take. Why not? But here, you know, Vega just kind of get it as like the olden times when people like, oh, Rubik's very good against Phoenix in the laning phase. You got Telekinesis, of course, for the dive, but I don't know. What do you make on the Rubik pick?
That's pretty decent. You've got the dive's okay. Steal that Sunray, of course. Pretty Seal, you can always get something pretty good from a Lion, generally during a team fight.
Yeah.
We all know Chrono's not the most fantastic, but now that Faceless Void doesn't really build damage like the olden days, at least you don't have to, you know, maybe you're going to end up letting him run through the Chrono, but you can get some of his allies stuck inside instead. But he has to tango with a Clink, so it's not exactly, you know, I mean, what are you going to do? You're going to steal Invis and try to run away? It's highly unlikely that that Invis is still there. He's probably popped strafe and you're just dead as a Rubik, so tough life coming out there against the, what we assume will be the Aloha Dance Clinks here. Then they just remove the G Puck, of course, one of the more survivable ones up against that Earth Spirit.
Yeah. Does leave G with not very many options here to work with, and we'll have to just see what's in store for us with this Rubik pick or not. Maybe it's Vega looking to pull out something cheeky in the laning stage, but otherwise, no, I'm not seeing a whole lot that the Rubik's really going to be able to bring in some of these, what could be hectic team fights.
I think they would dual mid with the Alk, Phoenix.
Tinker.
Oh,
no,
no,
they'll
just
tinker. Okay, so, you know, something you were mentioning before, I do fear a little bit for the laning stage of this Tinker, and G is one of those mid laners where if he does struggle at the start and if he is bullied, he can have a little bit of a hard time recovering, but Virtus.Pro feel confident in this one, and, you know, if they make it work and they survive through the laning stage, they make a respectable mid lane or mid game, they have one of those kind of lineups that just seems to kind of cover all bases. But Vega Squadron prepare for, you know, also potentially the long haul here. Spectre coming out from FN provides that global presence, provides that way to be able to possibly even catch the Tinker fast. You know, here we go. That's 5-man spread from both sides, mod packs.
Yeah.
What do you think's walking away with this one?
I mean, I can never really doubt the G Tinker, but I have seen quite a few of these Vector counter picks. They've worked out pretty well. I mean, we've seen your Storm Spirit even start coming back in, not only because of the Bloodstone, but up against a couple Tinkers too. So it doesn't look like they have the best stuff for shutting down Yoku. I can imagine he'll probably get off to a better start than we saw with Meg had. Maybe that'll help actually get some better Chronospheres, perhaps an earlier Blink Dagger for him. And then if they can actually get that combo going, we saw it like right at the start of the game from Vega Squadron. Immediately Chronosphere, 2-man top lane with the rotation coming in that Clinks. So if they can do that successfully from VP and actually snowball that momentum of the Chronosphere time and time again to create that space up for G, I don't really see, like, that's pretty tough to fight into from Vega. They don't really have that burst damage that you think you got to try and like bring down a Clinks or something like that before he can slink away, find himself on the side of the fights and throw back in that damage, right? It's very sustained damage from Vega right now.
Yeah, I mean, they have that kind of lineup, which almost feels like they thrive on those really long-winded fights, you know, with the Exorcism being out, Magnetize, get the most out of your wall, I suppose, but I don't know. Overall, when you look at the full spectrum of this game, it feels like for Vega, you really need to get a lot going in the laning phase, try to shut down this Tinker a bit, and try to get your heroes online faster, while for Virtus.Pro, you know, they're able to kind of bully in this laning stage, like prevent the Spectre from really having a good time at all. And if Tinker can kind of survive any sort of early roaming, then Virtus.Pro could kind of segue themselves into a quick Game 2 win. But nonetheless, we'll see how it goes. Folks, this is our European Finals best of 5. We're hopping into game number 2 of Vega versus Virtus.Pro here. And the early war games will begin. Virtus.Pro will already be popping down this offlane where they will see Solo. Oh,
that's so important right now too.
Yeah, he's going to be dropping this ward, but by deduction, we'll see. He walks away, and wouldn't you know it, they ping right on top of it. So.
And this is one of those spots that we see a lot when you just like you don't care about blocking the camps, you just want to get that vision because you want to be bringing down this pressure every once in a while. And you want to give it away by blocking the camp, but nicely done there. The early TP ward. And that's rough. I mean, Solo needs to get so much work done. He has to somehow slow down a Clink and a Tinker, because we talk about Darkseer and how his role a lot of the time is those Ion Shells, like drawing supports to come down the lane, making sure they're contesting him, trying to harass down that core, but you've got a ranged core and Clinks, so he doesn't have to worry about the Ion Shells all too much. You can use that pack to do once you hit 6. I mean, by that point, he like leaves the lane anyway, but it just means that you need that Earth Spirit to actually focus him, but he has to be doing that to the Tinker at the same time.
Oh, Virtus.Pro, they snag up the bottom bounty rune from Aloha Dance, so that means they'll actually take both runes. It's not going to get any easier for Vega right there. I know it's just a rune, but still, for Clinks to take it up, a freebie on that one into this laning stage. They got the ward, And when I was just trying to finish up saying how Vega, the lane stage, might be a bit more important for him, not really the best start ever, but we'll see. As the game does get underway, if Solo will be able to make an early impact with his Earth Spirit and having that Ion Shell together, if they can keep the Spectre safe in the top lane, not, it should be an easy task, but forcing Yoku away from the farm is another task in itself.
Yeah, you can see already, just having No Fear in the mid lane, that early harass using Sunray, trying to give G a good time. Playing not the gonna be the funnest matchup for a Tinker in those earlier levels, of course. I know Death Prophet, quite the lane dominator these days. Not quite as good now since the nerf, but look at FG just taking that Ion Shell damage. Creep's almost blocking him in there. That was getting a little bit close.
And I'll actually follow up Mag here, so he's going to try to change course of these creeps and pull them actually towards the tower and away from the pool.
Yeah, nice pull.
That was done here from Solo, yeah, very nicely done. And that will allow them both to kind of get some quick and early shared XP and avoid any sort of potential harassment from the Lion or even the Clinks himself. So it's a good bring back there from Vega, and we'll have to see what kind of momentum G's going to be able to get from that early start and assistance from No Fear's Phoenix. And it doesn't stop there. No Fear already back on the scene with the mighty Death Ray. No one just stop that, bird. Stop that. He will be forced to salve up and continues his grind. So for everything that Vega can get in that bottom lane, Virtus.Pro take one of their own in the mid, and then top ends up kind of being a bit of a wash. They'll have Yoku being able to kind of be a part of all the XP and also be able to creep in some respectable CS, while Vega can't really stop him from doing it.
It's just like so unlikely they'd be able to bring him down. There's just no way Solo makes a reaction up there, and if he does it, it would certainly be surprising. He's now heading into the mid lane, finally deciding that maybe he'll have a crack at a Tinker instead. Mag is almost to level 3. So
everybody's coming to this party though. Solo even rolls in. They're going to try to get No Fear first. They will. It's going to be Vega who gets the first blood. Virtus.Pro reaching here. Cooldowns, 5 seconds for laser. G, he's going to have to let that one go, but he's got Solo and Sayoma behind him. In fact, G's like, you know what, I might die anyway. He's like, he's going to get denied. And G will intercept though, pull up to the high ground, rolling boulder from Solo, takes him down south and away. But now No Fear shows up with the Ray. Sayoma, ow, oh, get him with the light quick. There it is. G helps out with the burst from the laser, but now more trouble. Solo and Mag both show up. Too. And there's going to be the roll in. G is going to be hit up now from that roll from the Ion Shell. Even a Cryptstorm coming in to help out. And the chaos really doesn't stop. Now they're looking for the 2v2. FNG double Ion Shell damage. Absolutely shredded apart. No Fear also going to be going down. A triple kill for Mag. Don't discredit the damage these Ion Shells could do. Vega recognize it, and they just continue to push on in. And now they're quickly up 4-1.
Yeah, that was quite the chase. Not sure about that one. Diving in pretty deep. Yeah, it's the enemy mid laner, but in the end, they pay so heavily. How often do you see a triple kill in a Dexter that deep? You know, this early into the game. He's just like, he's way over here, getting stunned. A little bit of space there for Aloha Dance, but certainly going to be very happy. Get up into already into the Soul Ring, can grab up his boots too if he'd like. Should make that bottom lane a lot easier. They've got boots now done on Solo. And now, if they get some detection up, they can really actually put this pressure onto Aloha Dance.
Pressure's already going to be coming back, though, from Virtus.Pro on the no one in the mid lane. They better TP there if they want to assist him, but he already TP'd to the bottom lane instead, so this will be a successful pickoff for Virtus.Pro, taking down Lady Death Prophet. And we'll have to see, though. Mag makes his return back to the off lane, now that much richer. But Solo is going to be spotted, so obviously Aloha Dance will wait in reserve here. Go for the early silence? Yeah, he did. So 1-1-1 for Solo, just to see with the extra silence, with the little bit extra time, maybe we can make a go for Dance, but okay, Dance, there's the jump, there's the dust, boulder smash, a silence so he can't skeleton walk away, and they'll get the kill. Very nicely done there from Vega and from Solo.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I guess Aloha Dance just willing to die, it seems. Knowing that he was gonna go down here.
Yeah, Evan is very low here. He's playing a dangerous game that Yoku is happy to kind of strut forward for, but it looks like he eventually will be forced to withdraw from the lane altogether. But yeah, very good stuff. Vega followed up with another in that bottom, and as you know, we were saying, the ward was there. He knew the trouble was nearby, but I don't know, I guess waiting a bit too long and not wanting to just kind of stand down, he will pay the price.
Yeah, so now Mag up almost into his arcanes if you'd like. Looks like he's just heading straight into the headdress. Maybe a casual ring and regen first, but no one. Almost up to level 6, they can kind of start to choose that timing. They'd like to take that first point to Exorcism, see if they can find a moment to go. And knowing that this Tinker, like, he hasn't been spamming the marches yet or anything like that, he's holding those points as we see our Tinkers do. Trouble now, though.
Okay, he doesn't catch with the roll. The stun will be there, but the second they see the Sunray coming out, they know that this fight is going to be a bit futile. Top lane, though, as the 6-minute rune's getting ready to come out, both supports kind of catch each other here between Sayoma and FNG. And they will be forcing Sayoma back and away. That will allow G to get up that bounty rune. Bottom lane will leave Solo with a haste rune. Could be a kill rune, but it looks like they are going to be saving it for no one.
Yeah, and how about Yoku? 20 last hits right now.
Another
Dominating
game where
this
he's
offlane.
just at the top in the CS. I mean, game number 1, of course, he was the mid lane Tidehunter, but as expected, they can't do anything to this Faceless Void. Just, he's going to get to that farm, he's going to get to that level 6 and that Chrono. And for Virtus.Pro, you can imagine they are going to be putting it together with use in that Clinks. So Vega need to be prepared for this. Mid lane Virtus.Pro. A lot of hands on deck here. Is this for a smoke? No, I guess they're just going to make some stacks and casually roll on through. Virtus.Pro just maybe formulating a game plan for when their level 6s do come online.
Radiant's bottom tower
Yeah, starting to get these stacks all going. Look, it's 3 men ready to roll. Good. Try and get these boots of travels here for G and help them accelerate when they will be online, because they're pretty much ready to go. They have the Chronosphere, they have the Clinks, like that early rotation can happen if they'd like. Give it a little bit of space down bottom to F and G perhaps. Go absorb up the lane. And put that threat of Aloha Dance being off the map, right? I mean, that's what you Clinks generally wants to be doing, roaming around inside the enemy jungle, creating that perceived threat. Like, the Rubik is definitely a support that cannot just be, like, on his own once that starts.
Yeah, and I don't know if he's going to have to be that support who just keeps carrying all the wards too, but sentries down and casually in lanes might be something that they need to consider in the near future. But they, before that point, want to smoke up and go on the move and try to get a kill going their way. A takedown onto G and his Tinker before he can get the Boots of Travel would probably be best case scenario for them. Let's see if they can find it here. They begin to head their way. Once they see G out of the lane, they can figure he's probably doing some stacks in the woods, but it looks like they could end up getting a cutoff here into Aloha Dance. Dust is ready on Solo, and Sayoma will see him. And that's going to lead to the lift. Haunt is going to be coming out so that Vega, or FN rather, can get involved with the kill. And it'll be a nice pickoff, and they take down the Clinks. So, wonderful stuff. Greatly executed pick. No, nothing more, nothing less about it, really, Mopac.
No, look at no one in here too. Cleaning up a couple of these stacks. Down here is our Death Prophet. Haste it up. Not feeling too worried. Just it'll wear off now, but they've made this rotation down. They have the vision here. They can see if someone's TPing in, so you can feel pretty safe. Farming down here is FN, and these are the stacks here, constantly pushing out the lane. There's no tower damage. There's 100 tower damage right now. Clinks.
Ooh, roll for G here, but again, no fear will be there with the Sunray, but this burst might be a bit too much, and it will be. Spirit Siphon helps out, but no one still continues to eat a lot of that damage. They will Fade Bolt down and get that kill onto FNG, but now Yoku is here, and he is ready to play a 2-for-1, and that's going to be the Chrono.
No, Aloha Dance.
It does catch Aloha Dance on the inside, but it looks like they might have enough firepower to at least get Sayoma down. That could have been a lot better for Virtus.Pro, given that Aloha Dance was free to kind of move around, but nonetheless, they'll just take their first Yoku rotation and take that advantage in the fight. They will lose G, which kind of will set him off a bit from these Boots of Travel, so I guess at the end of the day, Vega are going to be able to smirk about that one.
Yeah, with that in consideration, relatively even trade there, you'd think. Overall game plans and everything, how each team's looking to execute right now. Again, I really think that the attention down bottom, I feel like Vega should try and keep that up and try and keep that going, because Clinks, generally you like to have the tower down before you make these rotations. He's already left. He's like just gone. Aloha Dance is doing his jungle stuff. He's looking for that last death back on Telebear and maybe start roaming then again, but really good reason just to pick up the stacks here. Didn't just get the triple kill. Constant pressure up here, try and open up this raiding side jungle, and they really just want to start denying these stacks.
Yeah, and any attention Vega can pull towards the bottom lane means attention they can pull away from their Spectre, and we all know that Spectre needs her space, so it would be in the best interest for Vega to do the best they can to kind of keep the attention down here to the south. But they might need a bit more before they can comfortably hold themselves in these fights. Maybe Solo getting towards this level 6. I mean, you're level 5, it's 10 minutes. You know, did they buy the toe yet? Who's got the book? Someone needs to get it. And I would think getting magnetized would be a bit more important. Maybe Rubik used it because he's already level 6. I'm not sure, but nonetheless.
I don't know. They didn't buy it. You are correct.
Yeah, magnetized would be nice to have here. And if you're getting with the times, you know, just tell them, gaming people. Go. The frog put the book out there for you to read it.
Oh, Mag, with 8 here.
Yeah, he's drawing them in, but they might be able to burst them down in time. The roll will show up. If they can trade it at least for Aloha Dance, it will make it a bit more worth it. They are going to get G also at the same moment elsewhere in the world, mid lane. A nice little deep commitment from Vega. Will allow Samuel to pick up. Samuel will get the kill in the bottom lane, but another pickup on the G makes it all the sweeter. And with that, they'll get not just an and 1, but possibly an and 2. No one makes this move for the mid tier 1, while the rest of Vega get the bottom tier 1 tower. This is a huge boost in the economy right now for Vega.
Yeah, not only that, but just overall map control against Tinker. Just helping him out so much right now for the side of Vega. And just down it goes. This ward not even going to really matter at this point. Smoke up play here from FNG, though.
Yeah, no one had got the tower, but he continues to kind of farm around a bit too long, and he might pay the price for it. FNG is stalling it out as long as possible. The stun, the hex, the finger, and between both supports, it will be enough to take down the Death Prophet here. Samuel casually walks forward, but quickly eats some March and some laser damage. He's got to be careful. Another rocket's going to be flying, and with that right click, that Rubik is as good as dead. Uh-oh, Vega kind of handing over a couple of freebies now. You don't want to be doing that after taking, like, one of your best morale boosts of the game.
Yeah, that'll end up being 600 gold there onto our Phoenix. Happy about that. Try and get some items other than just the tribal wand.
Yeah.
Maybe into that Aether Lens, the JRX style. Himself an In's rune here too.
Ooh. Mag was around hoping to kind of have his own say in the rune matter, but not going to be getting it. And you're right, yeah, whether it be the Aether Lens or Midas or something, it'd be nice to get this Phoenix some levels and get that egg a bit more durable than it once was before.
Nice. Call it is the Midas.
And Magnetize is also online for solo, so I would like to see Vega kind of put it to use right away. 4 stones, he's going to have 5. That's plenty of kill potential for him. And it's a very good lineup to do it against. Here. Oh, maybe if they can stall it out and he can hide in the trees. Oh, you can't hide under a chrono, though. Ouch, 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 ouch. Still surviving a bit, but it's not going to be enough. Max shows up, drops the wall, and here comes the rest. Dust is there. No fear caught under the telekinesis. Will they be able to finish him off? It looks like they will. Now they're going for Aloha Dance. Soul, Spirit Siphon going to be enough, and they will take him down. Vega get their own response and take 2 kills. No Magnetize needed to be committed. The Exorcism obviously was, but they can easily turn this into a tier 1 takedown in this top lane too. So, very good stuff. Vega being able to get the takedown of Aloha Dance does make the rotation a bit more worth it. But this tower going down would make it very worth it, but he's already here and he's going to lay down as many marches as he can to make it a bit more difficult for Vega. Ooh, deep roll though from Solo. He's looking to catch out G on the way out. G is going to get stunned up here. Magnetize silence. And that will be the end of it. I mean, I gotta say, even from personal experience, Earth Spirit is very nice to have against the Tinker. Very good at being able to close the distance and catch him when he's trying to hide behind towers or hide into the side of the woods. And once you do catch him, you know, as we know, most Tinkers, they don't get BKB or anything, so very nice to be able to lock him down for the rest of your team to be able to catch up.
Yeah, a little bit of a scary play there, but just this vision, like, just creeping over a little bit there. That was enough to help him think that there weren't any supports lurking nearby. And they actually see the pings come out from FNG saying, I think there's a ward here, because like they would make that dive or something like that, but a little bit of a optimistic play working out there in the end for Vega. Solo just using that haunt to maximum effectiveness to help FN get a couple more kills, building into what appears to be the Vanguard if it's not just the casual vitality booster.
Yeah, I wagered the casual vitality booster. The Vanguard is the international sign for I've given up, so we'll see. No, Vanguard did receive some buffs, so
it's pretty good now.
Yeah, it is good now. I know. I'm just making that joke from how it used to be. Top lane though, they get a pull back for Ryoku. Silence after telekinesis. Solo, no boulder smash there yet, but yeah, they got the rolling boulder and they got plenty of damage. Even a wall committed for that one though. But hey, no fear rotates in and they will zap down the Solo Earth Spirit. That's obviously because of his misfire on the rolling boulder puts him into trouble. So it will be a 1 casualty handover, but for Yoku as the exchange, it does make it better for Vega.
Yeah, they're starting to get that momentum going. Something they weren't quite able to get going last game, despite having what you would think would be almost easier mechanisms for it, right? And like the Chronosphere is kind of that easier setup to like, all right, we're just gonna fight, we're gonna throw it in, see what happens.
Oh! See you later. FNG just casually walks up to FN, who's already about 2/3 of his life, and he does the math. And with a stun and a finger, it's more than enough to finish off Core Spectre. So, freebie there for Virtus.Pro. Oh, Solo, as he tries to roll out into that bottom lane, will not be able to get the catch on the FNG, but drops FNG, man. His Lion for the second game straight, you know, continues to be on point, and I imagine it's something he will continue to just get for himself, given the opportunity.
Yeah, so much for momentum. Just trying to farm away. Dance again. He actually never stops here. 15 minutes in, 24 kills.
He's creeping. Thank you.
Too.
Thank you. And they will know what's happening now. Solo's nearby, but without dust or any sort of extra vision, which currently was on Sayoma, they are not going to do anything about the Clinks taking that room business. And Vega kind of get back into their grind of farm now. But Virtus.Pro, they will begin to accumulate their own bit of farm. G obviously now with those with these boots of travel, begin to do tinker things. And he will hop between lane to lane and begin to amount the pressure onto Vega. But, you know, for Vega's side, they have prepared adequately. I mean, they have good out spam to deal with any sort of hefty push. Fade Bolt, Crypt Swarm, Ion Shell. You know, when the pressure does come, they will be ready to farm it up.
Yeah, now Aloha Dance is gonna spot out no one. I'm not sure if he's gonna go for like a deny play hit there, smoking up and coming in. Big wraparound coming solo with that Ion Shell.
Yeah, Virtus.Pro, or I don't know if they're getting the hell out of there or repositioning, but they'll see that the trouble's coming. They look to go for Mag first. No Fear commits onto that one while Yoku is silenced. Can't get off the Chrono. There's going to be the egg. Now he looks for the jumping Chrono play, and it's on to 3. The wall's in the middle, but he can't really find a target between himself and the 3 of them. While G is getting caught out, no one begins to go on a roll here. Elmo cleans that one up with a Fade Bolt, but it's Virtus.Pro who lose this fight, and they lose 4. Wonderful rotation comes out from Vega with the smoke setup, and they just surround Virtus.Pro and easily take the fight.
That's one of those fights where if you can imagine that Ag gets off, and it might be just enough to turn it around as they were dropping low inside that Chronosphere, and despite getting the Fire Spears onto, I believe, 3 heroes. I think the only one he didn't hit there was no one, and then of course not caught inside the Chrono, able to clean up that egg just before it was going to go off. So, yeah, and again, very well, like great, fantastic positioning. I really like the wraparound from Solo, coming in with that Ion Shell to make sure he can find that first target to pick off, and then when you're all enclosed again, one person smoke breaks, you just pop that haunt, and immediately you can decide how you're going to take that fight, right? Like it can just all be on this vacuum, and I feel like Meg, without something like this Chronosphere to depend on, where instead he's throwing out these Ion Shells, and how much more value that adds throughout the entire fight. Like, yeah, the vacuum's important too, the wall's okay, but for the most part, it's proper positioning with Ion Shells, your blinks, your mechanisms, and everything like that. And I feel like that's just suiting him a lot better, it seems.
Yeah, I mean, you know, don't get us wrong, we've seen Mag play a great share of like those playmaking heroes in the past. I remember a certain StarLadder when he was pretty much confined to playing Centaur every single game. He has like the initiation capability, but it seems like, yeah, recently he's found a real stride playing some of like Darkseer. We already know him to play a lot of the Broodmother. Just efficiency across his laning phase and what he needs to get done in these team fights continues to be pretty impeccable. And Vega continued to hit a pretty good stride here in game number 2 with about a 5k net worth advantage, XP just about the same. They're on good track to turn this best of 5 quickly into a best of 3 with a good 1-1 even up. But Virtus.Pro's potential begin to continue to rise rather for them. G gets his Blink Dagger now, so we'll have to see how much use they can make out of it. Possibly here in the bottom lane. There's going to be the rotation. They've already lead things off with the finger, and as I say it, G's going to be able to get the connection with the laser. Solo's there to respond though. Stun, silence, and they quickly get an answer, taking down the Tinker. And that was a buyback too from FX.
Yeah, I don't know about that one.
Okay. I mean, that is a salty vengeance buyback. You know, unfortunately with where it finishes out. If it was turning into a chaotic team fight, which maybe Vega thought it was, it could have been a different story. But hey, at least they'll be able to follow it up with something else. It looks like they'll go in for the Roche Pit. They'll use the Exorcism, but pings are flying out, and I see Virtus.Pro en route here. And Yoku has a Chrono. Uh-oh, this could be bad. No one will be able to snag up the Arcane Rune, but Vega know that trouble's nearby. Yeah, this is not good. Vega are going to be forced to withdraw. Fear moves in, gets silenced, gets stunned. Yoku sets up the Chrono on 3. They are going to be able to finish off the Phoenix, so there'll be no egg. But the damage continues to fly out. Sailma though with a double. They continue to get the better of it as Vega, and they get FNG also down. G is trying his best, dishing out the rockets and lasers from far, but the damage is not going to be there. Not enough to finish off Vega, and not enough to deter them from finishing this road.
I feel like if you're, like you're spotted out and you don't already have that Chrono down, it's too late. The hesitation there from VP just seems so unlikely you're going to take a good fight after that. Positioning coming out from FNG, or rather from the sports there on the side. I think that was a stolen finger of death. It was. See him just snagging that thing up there and putting maximum use. I almost thought it was FNG making plays for a second there. I got a little bit confused, but Rubik coming through in the clutch. They just didn't catch the Chrono by surprise. So hard.
Somebody had suggested in the past that for Rubik's skills, they should be like tinted green a bit. I understand where there could be advantages and disadvantages to that. Maybe for spectators, it'd be nice to see, because you're right. Sometimes like, oh, a crazy finger flies out, and the first thing you want to say is, big finger from FNG, but little do we know, Sailma is right there with his fancy top hat to snag up all these big ultis and kind of turn the pace right back and around on the head of Virtus.Pro.
And I mean, his cosmetic, it makes him purple, so, Valve, please.
I mean, it looks like the Han version of, close to the Han version of Lion, but here we go. You'll set up for Aloha Dance, telekinesis, and into certain death here. Vega really cracking this game wide open, almost as significant as Virtus.Pro in game number 1. Looks like we're in store for a hell of a series, Modpack.
Yeah, and a hell of a game too. I'm not sure this one will be over quite too soon. I mean, we've got our Midas done on like our Phoenix in a minute here. Our Face's Void's building into a Yasha. So they're starting to look towards late game from the side of Virtus.Pro. And you start to think about high ground, like Pod's great and everything. It does get the kills done, and it's great for these like across map pickoffs, but they haven't closed it up quite yet.
Pod's going to be out. They look to go for the back lines of Virtus.Pro, and they're going to get Yoku down. He had a Chrono to work with, but it will not be involved in this fight. And Vega will just wrap back and around and go for the tier 2. Now they do have Exorcism here, Modpacks. Do you think that they should just go for high ground push, or do you think they have time to spare in this one? I mean, I guess when you have a Spectre on your team, there is time to spare, but figure while you have this momentum going, why not, why let up? Especially while there's 20 seconds on a Void. Let's see what they do.
Yeah, it's kind of sketchy, because in one hand you're like, yeah, we can force the buyback, but they have the tier 2, or rather the tier 2 mid, and then the tier 2 bottom as well. So it's like, yeah, we get that Rax, and maybe win the fight, and then we just have to leave, and we commit all our resources or something, and in the end the payoff might not be worth it. They do have Aegis and stuff, though, for quite a bit of time. So maybe mid lane, pressuring that bottom lane first would be the play.
Ooh, they will get Sailma bottom lane, though. Yeah, nice little solo pick. Aloha Dance with what looks like the range hacks there on the last hit. We'll be able to get the support down. And Sailma has been bringing together a couple of kills. He actually had a dominating streak, so that is an extra, bit of gold for the Clinks. You don't want to be handing that over.
Try and get into that BKB.
Yeah.
Very good for him to be stuck outside that Chronosphere and actually able to put in that damage. Won't have anything to stop him. It's just pure damage coming out there from either the Spectre or perhaps our Death Prophet.
Very true, so Aloha Dance will just take his extra little purse and walk away and back into the grind of farm. Vega not looking to make it easy for any tower takedown. In fact, Virtus.Pro only have 1 tower taken down this game. Plenty of gold on the map for them to take, if they can somehow find their way back into the positive for some of these fights, because it's been very apparent that Vega are just the 5-man team right now. But Aloha Dance is looking for his pickoffs here. He's mag, but without any additional lockdown, it's not going to be easy.
That's a hard snag too, yeah. Solo coming through too. I'll have to bail on out of that one.
Yeah, not happening at all. But Virtus.Pro pushing mid lane. They smoke. Here they come. Looking to kind of turn this game back and around here. They hustle all the way towards the bottom lane where they see FN at the moment.
Great time for Radiance to show up.
He actually gets the Radiance for the Courier and will take it down. That's convenient and nice. Oh my god, how much was that Courier holding? 6.2k of net worth. That is not good.
That's a Radiance and a Yeah, vitality booster there.
Oh, man.
Is under attack.
No one. Value. That's one of the biggest courier snags I've ever seen that wasn't like 50 minutes. It's not the refresher courier, you know, when you're 80 minutes into a game or something with the refresher and the Necro
That's
3.
dramatic, yeah. In Virtus.Pro, I wonder with that, if they're going to look to do anything about it or not. It looks like Mag has spotted out FNG, but that will allow FN to kind of haunt out. FNG will quickly catch him with the Hex. He tries his best to avoid the trouble and stun.
I mean, he's living for a haunt right now. This is kind of crazy.
G's here now. Dishes out the rocket and the laser. This line's not
FNG.
going down. Oh, not looking good. I don't want to say tilt mode yet for Vega.
They got no
but...
one with the chrono.
And this is quickly turning into Virtus.Pro's time right now. They sweep through. They take the Death Prophet. Solo's going to be forced to set up Aloha Dance. He will retreat out from trouble as he is their gem carrier, but oh, this is not looking good now. Virtus.Pro getting a lot going for themselves. This is going to be about a 3K net worth swing just based on these recent events.
Yeah, no one just juking and jiving in the trees, and Sioma, he does steal the invis there with the skeleton walk, so he's going to be stalking FNG. No detection on the side of the Radiant
And,
here.
uh-oh.
And let's see if he can get him. No detection.
Yeah. They'll pull back in a way, and Vega will wait under the tower now, but this is quite the reset for them. They'll have to wait out for that Radiant to come back online. And for Virtus.Pro, this is the time to start pushing for those tier 1s they didn't have before. All that free money on the map is mentioned. Now they can kind of take a bit.
That was the crack they really needed. That haunt being down right now is just giving so much free space to G. Just heading all over this map. He's not nearly as concerned about the initial vision from the haunt leading to something like a Rubik lift. Just making his way across that map. And the worst part is they just didn't even get anything for it too. Like, you can't even say the haunt was traded, but good positioning. Like, despite FNG being caught out, you see the other heroes on the side of VP just started to group together to ensure that they weren't going to become part of like some sort of a dual pick-off where the Spectre haunts in and maybe we get that roll coming out from Solo. Starting to find their stride here, and these items they've picked up, the Manta style, and of course that Midas now building into that Shiva's Guide for no fear. They're starting to scale over here. On the side of VP, it's getting a little bit worrisome for Vega.
And all of a sudden, you know, all the ways that Vega had of being able to lock down Yoku or silence up Clinks, like these are just not options anymore. And with Manta on hand and with the BKB going to be coming together here any moment for Aloha Dance, that potential for Vega is just going to be gone. And it's going to quickly become the time where they need to fall back onto the shoulders of the Spectre. But the Spectre had been brought down a serious peg after losing that courier and having to lose out on all that time for the Radiance. I don't know, we'll have to see if that's enough. No fear with the... Okay. Funny little dive, but nonetheless we'll TP you out.
Yeah,
here comes Vega
back
though.
up now.
They need to make this work. They need to take this game back. See if
Gem
they can
is
get it
on
here.
the Earth Spirit. Oh no, wait, where does Gem go? Oh, he handed off to the Rubik. No.
Oh, but they do end up running parallel to where Aloha Dance is. And when Aloha Dance does get close, it's not going to be close to
They know he's there.
Oh, now they see him. And, well, they get him with the silence, but he seems to wiggle away from the trouble. Polo, ooh, almost bursted down. Quick roll out. Even the Gree is going to be keeping him alive from that last little lingering right click. But that was a Vega smoke movement where they will be coming up short on finding any sort of positive team fight. Virtus.Pro hold out here for now.
Yeah, we talked about tower advantages there for the side of Vega, but you can see, I mean, yeah, the Clinks didn't get anything done early, but he had a hard time pressuring his own tower because of the Darkseer, and then this kind of like 5-man rotation, very haunt from the side of Vega, the early mechanism, thanks to that triple kill on Meg, it made that split push and everything difficult. Vega were just always kind of on point and on the ball when it came to this, and you know, your Tinker was trying to farm up those stacks in the jungle, he's not applying that lane pressure yet, but now everything's starting to come together. One missed haunt, your Clinks can take down a tower, they're pressing enough creeps in that they're going to be weakening those towers for the Clinks to just show up and finish them off, and slowly but surely, like VP, it could become in bursts. Like anytime there's a failed haunt or a failed exorcism, they can just start pressing into these objectives.
Oh! G almost knocked up right there, but we'll be able to get the rearm off and reposition. And here comes Virtus.Pro now down this mid lane. I don't know if it's the best time for them to kind of make a push fully happen with all the ultimates ready up from Vega.
He's got the blink chrono now.
Okay, there is a quick move for Solo on this one, but a beautiful vacuum setup here from Mag. Chrono's going to be coming out, it will catch Aloha Dance inside. but now the lasers fly. G's got the Agnum Scepter, and he quickly blinds up the team of Vega. No one moves in. BKB pops, Spirit Siphons flying out. They're going to get G down, and it's a Vega fight. One that Virtus.Pro were not anticipating. But, you know, with the Hectic breakout, beautiful vacuum setup there from Mag causes a bit of chaos that when Yoku drops down the Chrono, it might have not been the most effective one. And G is just not really able to kind of dish out the firepower to clean up who remains.
Yeah, that vacuum, like, very bad spot for them to take that fight. And it comes down to trying to get a nice Chronosphere off, trying to organize your own team to throw that damage inside. You've got the Tinker, you've got the Clinks, but putting everyone together on the side of VP, Aloha Dance can't separate himself from that Chrono.
And now we don't have G here to kind of get the marches down and stop Vega from pushing in. This Exorcism already out helps easily bring down the tier 3, but here comes FNG now. Him, Yoku, and No Fear will try to get the pincer for no one. But it looks like that's not going to be happening. He makes his escape, and Vega walk away with the first real base damage of the game, taking the mid-tier 3 down. Virtus.Pro, they're hunting right now. They don't want to allow them to get away scot-free, but it looks like they may have to. It's a full Delta split here from Vega. Uh-oh, with the exception of FN.
Yeah, and Fsioma, he's also stalking up here on FNG with that Invis.
Oh, that's just waiting for FN on the other side, and they will hex him up, and they will get him down. Rubik's there, will blink away from the trouble, and Virtus.Pro, I mean, they find a good answer here. That's the Spectre down, a Haunt down, and as before, they'll just look to make the most out of these cooldowns.
Yeah, Chrono back online. Haunt's still going to be down for, well, 50 seconds because there's no Spectre, so not popping any buyback this time.
Dire's middle tower is under
Gosh, now complete for her. Trying getting towards that Manta style as well, but she's immediately down bottom, pressing out this lane. Hard for Meg to any sort of a trade, and one more objective their way.
Yep.
See, when someone wants to maybe try for the next Roshan as well, like, kind of a scary place to fight, I think, for both teams right now. Might have to come down to some sort of a good, you know, maybe 2 hero pick-off before you can really lead into it.
Yeah. I would certainly agree. It's definitely something I'm sure is more precious to Vega, though, at this point in the game. But I would imagine that Virtus.Pro are not going to be looking to allow them to have it without any sort of fight. In fact, Virtus.Pro might take the fight first and then go for the Roach themselves here. They have smoked up. They ping out the side shop, and Yoku just makes a quick and hasty jump in. Tries to get hold of the Darkseer, will get silenced. Tries to pull back, a jumping from No Fear for the egg. And that will allow Vega to kind of just withdraw. They will lose solo their Earth Spirit here. And we'll see if that's going to be enough for Virtus.Pro to move into the Roche Pit and quickly take it or not.
I think that would be pretty scary at this point, even without the, even with the Chronosphere.
Oh, bottom lane.
Bottom.
Rotating in for G though. And that will lead to an FN kill. Good stuff for them. And now it's a journey for FN to kind of find a TP to get the hell out of here in time. Oh god. He's running.
That is so scary.
Squadron is trying to scout them from running in, and oh, he stops just in time. But they're pinging out. The Death Ray searches. Where is he? They see him now. Uh-oh.
Target acquired.
Fugitive on the loose. Get that man.
Oh,
Yoku looks to make his move. They can't get there. Vacuum. And now Mag is here to help a buddy in need. Buyback comes out from G. A nice Chrono catches 2. But it doesn't allow a stolen Chrono onto FNG and No Fear. Beautiful stun setup. They're going to wipe out both supports here, but no one's got the Exorcism out. G bought back for this, and he could go into a dieback now. An awkward situation starting from FN hiding in the woods turns into a wonderful team fight for Vega.
Oh yeah, it's just a total disaster.
They have the Magnetize here for Yoku. They could make chase and just turn it into a Roche takedown. So it looks like they have eyes on a bigger prize here as they head bottom lane instead.
These Chronospheres just are not quite working out for them. Can't seem to find that damage source properly set up on the outside when they're throwing them down. A very chaotic fight coming out there and just chronoing and already exorcisming like no one. It just does absolutely nothing. You still turn out the damage, and lurking in the trees, and a little bit too deep of a dive there inside of Vega, managing to hunt them all down in 3 groups. So mid lane will go down. Tier 2s are all down on the outskirts, so if they want to head into another lane, they certainly can.
And that
safety play comes first.
Yeah, that worked out wonderfully for Vega, and they will take the safer road and just walk away with this Rax. But again, in Virtus.Pro fashion, they're looking to see if they can make anyone pay for this. Yoku leaps
He
forward.
can't blink because of the radiance.
Yeah.
Trying to find the distance. There it is there.
And okay, that's nice. Nice little
Oh, that's
convenient
a bash.
smack.
Oh,
And another
that's a
backfire at
manza.
it. But FN continues to run away, and with Solo nearby, kicking out those boulder smashes. There's no easy chase here from Virtus.Pro, but no Roche was done yet. And Virtus.Pro will have everyone on hand here. It's still a scary fight for Virtus.Pro. They lose this fight, they could lose another set of racks, but they also know that they need this Roche to stay alive in this game. So kind of similar to how we saw this from Vega in game number 1. But we'll see if Vega can stop them. Kings are out. They know this is going down, but the damage is being done. Will they blink in? There's going to be the haunt.
Oh, the stolen Sunray.
It's going to be stolen Sunray. Magnetized combo coming out from Vega. Eventually, Aloha Dance will be able to creep in with his BKB to grab the Aegis, but he will lose it just as fast as he picks it up. With 3 already down from the side of Virtus.Pro, this looks like a Vega fight all day, and that's a double kill for FN. This could be a Vega win as they quickly just parade back to the side of Virtus.Pro. 60 seconds, no buyback on your Clinks. 35 seconds, no buyback on your G. It looks like another Rax is in order for Vega.
Sioma with the snag. The Screeha from the bird. That Sunray is just brutal, getting onto 3 of his allies and plenty of enemies in the middle of that pit there. What a turnaround here from Vega in terms of our first game to our next. Everything looking so much cleaner and crisper. VP just kind of falling into almost the same trap like Vega did with Chrono Clinks. They can't get it going. We see like flashes of brilliance as to how good it can be, right? Like heroes just get melted immediately, but our fights just aren't set this game. It's a very chaotic haunt, I think, helping a lot with that too, because it's much easier for Vega to kind of create a team fight out of a situation where a lot of heroes wouldn't be able to make one happen, right? Spectre just immediately being next. And the distance and the reach coming out from this Link, Force Staff, Rubik, and then of course the Earth Spirit and Surging Darkseer as well. They're just bruising, brawling, and running you down.
And it wasn't Vega's game, you know, the whole time. Yeah, it started looking very good for him, but then you got to remember they lost the Courier, they lost the Radiance timing. Virtus.Pro took like 2 big fights, and they took what was once, you know, a 7,500 gold lead for Vega and brought it back even. But since then, Virtus.Pro getting caught up in these antics, putting themselves in awkward positions, and as mentioned, not really making the best use out of this Chrono combo that they were hoping for. Has quickly found Vega in the highest net worth advantage of the game so far, certainly in contention to close this game out, and now forcing Virtus.Pro into kind of one of these do or die situations where it's like, okay, how many smokes we got? Where's our smoke at? And well, can we make anything out of it?
Yeah, and how about Mag too? He's keeping pace with a Spectre. He's 9, 1, and 18. He is Blink, Force Staff, Grease, and Scythe now picked up here.
Immaculate performance
and Aloha
by
Dance
him
might be
for
feeling
sure.
the wrath of this one if he shows.
Oh, he's near the Ancients here. Who's got the vision? Oh, just as fast as FNG shows himself, he gets hexed up. Chrono only going to be catching some on the outskirts, but not going to be nearly good enough. Defendant makes quick work of FNG. No one now dominating as Aloha Dance is going to be hitting the deck. And another fight going the way of Vega, and FNG knows that ultimately it's just going to be another win. And that will be it. Vega take game number 2, and this best of 5 goes quickly into a 1-1.
Alright, teams kind of trading some strategies here it seems, but once again the Faceless Void will fall to the bottom. To see how Faceless Void and Clinks are viewed going forward in this draft. I think you kind of mentioned like the Earth Spirit against the Tinker. It's a dangerous situation, right? It's something that seems kind of like, oh, I don't know, like a lot of reach here from the Earth Spirit, the stuns and everything, and then that final pick Spectre just really put the cherry on top of this one. Yeah, a different hero mid for G,